Hello. Sorry to bother you. Can I ask you a slightly odd question?
Yeah, sure.
I'm making a podcast called Strangers on a Bench, where essentially I talk to people I don't know on benches for 10 or 15 minutes. Are you up for that? Do you want to give it a go? Do you have a favourite day of the week?
Day off?
Day of the week?
No, just a day off.
Any day off?
Any day off.
Any day off is great.
It's my favourite day of the week.
Okay, let's imagine a day off.
Yep.
What for you is a perfect day lived on this funny earth thing that we call
Okay.
home?
We call home this funny earth thing. And my perfect day, I have 3 children, so if I could see all of them, that would always be my first starting spot. I have 2 granddaughters. If I can see them,
This is also good.
this makes my day.
But can we start from waking up?
Oh, okay.
We need to start in bed.
Oh, me and you, Tom.
Presuming you two
Morning, Tom.
we're in bed.
Coffee.
Okay,
I like a little stare out the window.
just a little one.
I've got a great view from my kitchen window, and
What can you see?
I can see this harbour, all these boats, and I feel like I'm really important because I might be the first person that sees what damage might have happened overnight, or if someone's left their knickers on a flagpole.
Does that happen? Knickers on a flagpole?
It does in this village quite a lot. Not mine.
What is it?
Not my knickers.
What is it about this village and knickers on a flagpole?
I think it's generally this village can bring the mischief out of everybody.
Wow.
One of the favourite things, and I don't know who does it,
Yeah.
but the windscreen wipers standing up. So you know if it's been a bit of a wild night, if the windscreen wipers have been they're all out. Do you know when they pop?
Oh, I see.
When
Sorry, when someone's come along and done that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's quite an odd
So
one
you have
to
your
wake up.
morning stare
I
before
have
your
my
morning
morning
coffee
stare.
or with your morning
With
coffee?
my morning coffee.
Fantastic. And then from there, what happens after that?
Dog walk.
Straight away, dog.
Straight away, yeah. I do like to take him out for a good hour, possibly a bit more if I can. I say walk, more of a drag. Do you know?
It is a drag, or you have to drag?
He is a drag.
The
He's
dog's
a
a drag.
husky, so it's partly.
dog.
I can't blame him. Do you know? Like
Yes.
it's just his breed.
Where's the
But you know, I'm going
Oh,
along
I
like
see.
that, just like, oh, please stop. Especially this winter. Do you know, it's been so wet,
Yeah.
and I've got to say, I'm miserable. I'm fed up with
Oh.
wet socks in the morning and welly boots
hell.
and waterproofs everywhere. Wet dog smell.
How do you bring joy to a wet day then?
Good clothing. Yeah.
It's well wrapped up
No, just
with the
get some-
dog.
No, good clothing.
On your dog walk,
Mm-hmm.
do you see the same people regularly?
I do. I walk him in the same place because he's epileptic. So if I keep the same routine, I feel it keeps his seizures to a minimum.
What does
And
a dog seizure look like?
It's pretty ugly. It's like a human one.
Oh,
Bubbles, legs,
Oh, dear.
shaking. He loses his eyesight. He's about 35 kilos, so he's like a tiny rhino when he goes into
God.
when he comes around. He's obviously a bit disorientated.
how do you do it? I mean, what's the protocol for a
I've
dog having a
stopped
seizure?
crying because I'm like a 10-year-old girl where my dogs are concerned.
Oh.
It's just heartbreaking to see such
Oh.
a strong, healthy-looking young dog turn into a really vulnerable.
So this is
But
a new-
over the years, he's had it 2.5 years now, so I'm a big girl now. I've stopped crying. I'm really calm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When was the last, talk about feeling like a 10-year-old girl,
Yeah.
when was the last time you felt like a 10-year-old girl, apart from your dog having seizures?
Good question. Probably every time I see a puppy.
So dogs bring out the 10-year-old in you.
Yeah, they
Why is
do.
that, you think?
Probably because when I was 10, we had we've always, as a family, when I was little, always had dogs. I always feel like you got a dog in the house, it is a home. Do you know, those eyes? But those dogs, he was lovely. Do you know, he was one of those dogs that never did anything wrong. Since him, I don't think I've ever had a dog like that. I've always
Yeah.
had really naughty dogs. You know, like it's funny.
Have you been drawn to naughty dogs, you think?
Yeah, or do I make the dog naughty?
People
If
feel
I'm
naughty
honest-
around you. Do you think you
Yeah, I
encourage
think-
naughty behaviour?
Yes, I do.
Fantastic.
I'm honest about that.
That's good.
Cornish pixie sort of, you know, like
Yes.
nothing really nasty,
But just
not harmful, but
Mischief.
just a little bit of mischief. And I think the world needs a little bit of that now and again.
I agree. When was the last bit of Cornish mischief you did? What can you say? You've gone
I'm gonna
quiet.
say-
You've gone quiet.
I'm going to say, we replaced all the flags up here
Yeah.
with Palestinian flags.
Nice. Did you get in trouble?
They didn't know it was me,
They might.
but they came down straight away.
Did
Yeah.
you do it in the middle of the night?
Yes.
Was that exhilarating?
It was a little bit because it spurred on a lot of other people putting flags up in the village and brought a lot of
Nice.
people talking about it.
Yeah, which is the key
And
thing,
I thought
really.
that was the kind of point I was trying to make.
Yeah.
Like, excuse me, we might well be having a lovely sunny day down here and, you know, living the dream, having a picnic with your family, la la la. But meanwhile, but I feel there is that sort of outside, out of mind thing. And I did it, and then I was, you know, like afterwards, you're, ooh, I did something really naughty. I didn't mean to.
If you were caught, say, what do you what would have been the fallout?
Probably just got told off,
Yeah, which is fine.
which is fine.
Do you mind being told off?
Not really.
You're fine.
Yeah, it's
That's the
happens
key to-
daily.
That's-
You know,
Who tells you off?
my boss.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, but I love him, and he loves me. I can see it in his eyes. I really can.
What do you?
Sometimes he doesn't want to talk to me. He just wants to hold my hand and walk around the shipyard. Weird, but okay.
Is that part of the job
That's part of the
description?
job. Yeah, can you hold hands and not talk? Yeah. And once he sacked me, but apparently it was just a lover's tiff, and we're not even lovers. So from then on in my contract, only I'm allowed to sack myself.
The
So
contract.
I threaten all the others that I work with, like, hang on, any minute now, there's a sacking coming my way.
I'm going to sack myself any
Yeah,
minute.
Any minute now, you watch.
Has Cornish mischief been in running through you the whole way, your whole
Yes.
life? Yeah.
And my family, like I'm the youngest of four, and my mum always says, the problem with you is that you've got the worst of me and the worst of your dad, where the other three have got the best of both of us. So yeah, I'm the drinking, smoking, let's jump on that boat kind of person, where
You-
my sisters would be like, ooh,
Yeah.
have you got a life jacket? Have you told somebody? Do you have sisters?
I have a half sister
Yeah.
who's great, but I didn't grow up with her.
I
So
didn't
that's
really
good.
grow up with mine because they're
They're
older than me.
Yeah.
And so by the time I was really aware of them, they had left home.
Were you making mischief to kind of get people to notice you as a fourth child? Is that a thing? Or is it just in
I
you?
was the other way. It was if you were quiet when you were the youngest, then you got away with more because
Oh, I
nobody.
see.
They were busy doing grown-up
Yeah,
things. So if I sat on the corner of the stairs, I could watch all the mayhem going on. But as long as I was quiet, I'd be allowed to sit there all night.
Do you remember your first bit of mischief that you performed as a youngster, or at least the one that stands out?
Yes.
Hit me.
I'd seen on television that with hair grips that you could pick locks. So me and my friend we were probably about 8. Just thought we'd give the next door neighbour's house a go because they weren't home. My mum caught me and we were sent round the next day when they were in to say, we're really sorry, but it does work. And it did work.
worked.
It worked.
Did that start a lifetime of picking locks for you?
No, that was the only time
Oh, that
I
was the
bet.
only one?
That was it.
Do you remember what you found in the house once you got in?
There was a grandfather clock, and it, you know, before they start chiming, they kind of go like their arms all engaged.
Yeah.
That happened, and that's when me and my friend ran out
Freaked out.
screaming. Yeah,
You thought someone was in the clock.
yeah. So they're coming to get us.
I mean, the beauty of mischief, I suppose, is that it's always on the line, isn't it? You're always pushing it a little bit, and that's where the magic is. Can you think of a time you feel like you've gone past that edge and you ever so slightly regret anything mischievous that's you
It's
think
not
you've
a
gone
regret,
too far?
but it is on the line. I grew up on the Scillies, and so a group of us decided that if we pinched the police boat, which is the fastest boat on the island, they haven't got anything to chase us in. And they were standing basically on the bank watching us zoom off with us waving. Like, we're just taking it for a quick, spin and we'll bring it back. But that was another, Mum, Dad, you need to go to the police station and tell them, sorry, I won't do it again. And I didn't. And we did just take it for a quick spin, and it was a really fast boat. And I don't regret it.
What was it like growing up on an island?
On the Scillies.
The Scilly Isles, Isle of Scillies. Scilly Isles.
Scilly Isles, Isles
Yeah.
of Scilly.
So if someone's listening and they've got no idea where it is, can you tell me more?
It's about 28 miles off from Penzance by boat, just off in the Atlantic. It's a really pretty group of islands, 5 inhabited, lots of tiny little ones that you can explore and stay on, and beautiful beaches, absolutely freezing water, really cold. I loved it. Do you know, I love a really quiet winter. I always felt like there's secret months when you can, everybody gets on with stuff and it's all kind of all behind doors, and lots of sort of big family meals and big friends around and nobody else around, like walk around the island naked, nobody would care. You don't see
Did you do
anybody. Never naked.
Still time.
Still time.
You get back out there.
There is always time.
When were you first kind of independent enough to kind of go about the place?
I was allowed out probably all the time, but not across the main road.
Yeah.
And then it got to probably when I was past primary school, maybe 11,
Yeah.
I was allowed to go across the main road,
So let's
which was like a whole new world over there.
What happened across the main road? Just everything?
There was a river,
Oh, nice.
yeah.
So let's,
It was always fun, that
let's
on the
imagine
river.
an 11-year-old you then.
Yeah, crying about puppies.
Crying about puppies, exactly. Let's imagine it's
11.
like a Sunday, day
Yeah.
off school.
I'd have a job.
What were
I
you
had a
like in
job at
school?
11.
Did you have a job at 11?
Yeah.
Well, fantastic. What was it?
I'd have to go down to the local pub and sort all the newspapers, Sunday newspapers out, and the milk, and then go into the pub. We'd have a cup of tea, and then I'd put the football kit on from Saturday, wash that, and then we would go off, deliver newspapers and the milk to sort of like the surrounding area, get back about 11 o'clock, get the football kit all ready, restock the bar, and then I was allowed off at 12. I get paid £6 a morning, £2 an hour.
Right.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And you enjoyed it?
I did it for about 4 years. Yeah.
Oh, what, 4 years?
Yeah, but Bobby was about 10 when I
Yeah.
started.
Do
younger.
Do any of those mornings stand out to you?
There were real characters, sort of like proper Cornish farmers that we used to deliver their milk, and then they would give us money to go and put a bet on the horses for them.
Oh, wow.
So on the way back, we would just take all the bets. I mean, we're talking like early 70s, in Cornwall. Yeah, putting money on horses for old men.
Did you remember which horses to put them on?
No.
You walk into the bookies, someone wants a horse or
No,
something.
I never went in. The landlord of the pub, he would do that, but I was always the runner.
Yeah.
He'd just sit in the mini while I grabbed the milk, run. I remember one guy was called Courtney, and he'd always say, "Do you want a sack of spuds as well, maid?"
You're called Maid.
Well, still
Yeah.
am. Yeah. Still here.
Still the maid.
Still the maid.
What's the next level up from maid? So
Lady
enjoyable-
maid, old maid.
Old maid. No,
I mean, to be fair,
do you think you're old? No, you're not. Fresh.
No, but I think, like,
You've got
I
bounce.
work with a young group of people, and I am known here as the rude, old, shouty woman. Yes, I am. I am rude, I am old, and I am shouty. So, yeah.
So back to the question, I was going to say, on a free day when you were 11,
Yeah.
on the Scilly Isles, what would be a typical day? How would you entertain yourself?
Probably things like we'd go to the dump, places where you're not allowed to go because it wouldn't be open at the weekend, and like pull things apart like washing machines and take the glass bowls home and make big apple pies in them. Boats, always a lot of boats, just sort of rowing around, messing around, catching fish, shrimping, love that. Take them home, getting the good books with the parents, that kind of vibe.
So shrimps would get you points, parent points.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you concerned to get those points, or did you? They're not
Really.
really.
I think I always had them.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's called parental love, isn't it?
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
You should have them in the tank already.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah.
Not everyone gets those though. Sometimes.
No, that's
Yeah.
really sad.
Yeah. Why did your parents have you?
Why did they have me?
I'm guessing.
My mum always tells the story. It was a wild, windy night, and that she was dressed as a bunny girl on being to a party, and my dad was feeling a bit frisky. She was like 40 when she had me.
So how your mum? So you think your mum was dressed? Because that's actually quite an exceptional conception story.
Yeah.
She was dressed. Why was she dressed as a bunny?
Because they'd gone to a party. I presume because I'm end of August, so I presume it was sort of like New Year's Eve, Christmas sort of time.
What date? End of August.
25th. What are you?
26th.
Virgos. Aren't we meant to be known as like servers?
I don't know what we are, but we're special.
We are special.
Have you got any related to conception stories? Have you conceived any of your children in interesting ways? I feel like I can ask you that question.
You can.
I feel like you can cope with that. Can you cope with that? It's a compliment.
Oh God. Probably not.
You're thinking.
I conceived one in Israel,
Okay.
and I had two of my children on Scilly, and one in Cornwall. And the conceiving bit, not very
Not
memorable.
really, yeah.
Yeah. Do you
That's
know,
no
average
bunny.
night.
No windy.
bunnies.
There's no wind or bunnies.
No wind, no bunnies.
What about the births? Any birth highlights of the three? What's it like to give birth? Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it?
Okay.
Okay.
Quick fire round.
Yeah.
Okay. With all three of them, loved being pregnant. Absolutely adored it.
Yeah.
First one, obviously had no idea. People can warn you all they like about it, but really until you do it, the penny doesn't drop.
Yeah.
The first one, the penny dropped. I'm like, okay. So when the second one came along, I'm locked, I'm ready, I've got this. A few deep breaths, 20 minutes later,
Wow.
out in the garden of the Scilly's Hospital with my doctor, who was my best friend, with a glass of champagne. And my friends were the bin men at the time, and they were yelling over the wall, like, "Big man, the baby!" And then it was one of those really beautiful mornings, you know, when everything's really still and the sun's coming up. And my son, it was the easiest baby ever. It was, in fact, slightly boring regarding,
Too easy.
like, come on, do something. But he really was textbook, boom. My third, great birth, absolute nightmare baby. I didn't need a sling or a carrier. She would just stick to my face like a little spider monkey. And if anybody looked at her, she would literally scream. And don't try and take her off me, because she will have abdabs. But then once she could talk, really like explain who she was, everything just slotted in place. So she was fine. But that first year with her, it was a long year.
Yeah.
Do you know, I barely slept.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
it's rough. Can you chart any of that? You know, knowing her now, can you chart any of that?
Yeah.
That's why.
Spiky Scorpios.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she is, you know, she's a strong woman.
Does she still tick to your face?
At times. She's like, always like, kiss me on the lips, mummy. I'm like, stop it, you're weird. But if I do, so now it's like a family thing now. On the lips, mummy. Okay.
Take me back to can we whiz past it? But it
Yeah.
was the birth of your second child.
Yes.
So let me get this right. In the hospital garden, with your friend who was
The doctor.
The doctor.
I didn't have him in the garden.
and you said there was you were drinking
He bought champagne.
during labour.
No, afterwards.
Oh, afterwards. Sorry.
Yeah, not during
I thought like
labour.
I just.
No, not that.
Okay. And then the bin. You had friends with the bin.
Yeah.
With the whole set of bin men, or just one bin person?
Pretty much all of them.
You were good friends with the bin, and they were shouting over
Well,
the
it's
wall
like
at you.
a tiny island. You know,
Yeah, you know
everybody.
everybody.
And if you didn't go to school with them, somebody did that you know. Probably my sort of era were the last sort of times when people would, not expected, but you could have your baby on Scilly without, you know, too much trouble. And we just had a really lovely day. Just I felt like I was the only woman in the world that ever had a baby. Like telling everybody. So when the bin man asked, I was like, yes.
So lovely.
Yeah.
Have you ever been on a bin round?
I haven't, but I have spread salt on the roads and a gritter lorry once.
How come you came to do that?
Just have a friend who was doing it
Just gritted the roads.
and said, do you want to come out with me?
Beautiful.
And so, yes, I brought a little flask of whiskey coffee with me, and we just went around heavy gritting all the roads.
What
all
did you
night.
learn from gritting roads?
Like when it's really heavy, you put more salt on the road.
Good take on that. It's important we learnt that. It's important
That was
we
all
learnt
I
that.
learned. Yeah.
You say you're the last of a generation that could have had the kind of birth you did on the Scilly Isles. What else do you think has been lost from your era?
Playing outside. I don't know, just probably sort of more like family, the generation. Because my grandparents used to come over every weekend, and there would always be this massive, like, forget the Great British Bake Off, there would be like the family Bake Off. And my gran had like a signature fork prick to everything. Every sausage roll, every scone, every cake always had. My mum had her only little, 3 slashes with a knife. And my other gran would always have to try and outdo, it'd be bigger, and it would come on a cake stand. But I look back on it and I remember you had to be in at 5 o'clock on a Saturday, because that's when tea was up and the grandparents were there. So in you came.
Talk to me about Cornish traditions, as in any ones that you stick by, or you maintain, or you think are important.
Basically, I have to have a pasty a week, as I feel like I'm dying. There's something seriously wrong with me. And I do. I do have a pasty a week. And if I'm having a really good week, I'll have 2.
Good week is 2. What about 3? When do you have 3?
I've had
No.
2 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
Never had 3 in a week, probably. So I used to like the carnival, but I do understand that they can't do it anymore because of health and safety. But we all seem to survive it.
Why was it
eggs.
dangerous?
Well, just eggs and
Eggs?
throwing
Oh,
eggs
right.
and flour and,
Sorry, just out of interest, why were you throwing eggs?
why not?
No, right, sorry.
And like we do a raft race in the village, and we're not allowed to throw eggs anymore.
Sorry, let's start again. You do a raft race.
Yeah, we build rafts. We kind of launch them in the morning.
Yeah.
High tide, we all then paddle out through the gap, get to the outer harbour, and by then everyone's lost it. You're just throwing whatever you want anyway.
Oh, sorry. Whoa. So hang on. All these boats are sent out through the harbour,
No
right?
boats, they're rafts.
Rafts. That you've built.
Everybody's built.
And you say by a certain point everyone's lost it.
Yeah.
What, on the sidelines or on the rafts?
On the rafts more. I mean, it creates a lot of people come and watch it.
So but what are people doing on these rafts that's dramatic? Are you trying to topple the other? Are you trying to get people?
It's a race.
Yeah.
You can have as many people as you like on there. We have tried to do the same crew for years now. There were a bunch of women, and it is like 2 ladders strapped together with loads of cable ties and some drums underneath. And like a friend of mine, he did a Vicar's Tea Party and put a park bench on a raft. And his secret weapon was when he turned round the turning point, they all had massive umbrellas and of course caught the wind, and they just glided by
On a bench.
on a bench eating cucumber sandwiches. But it's a lot of fun.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
What does the winner get?
The winner just gets a trophy. It's probably a Barbie doll stuck to a piece of wood.
Have you ever won? Have you ever won?
Never won. Never want to.
But that's not the point.
Not the point, no.
All is the same group of women?
Try to be, yeah. I mean, as different daughters have grown up or gone away, and we've had, like my granddaughter join one year, which then you feel a bit protective because it's not dangerous, but it can get a bit physical. Like you can fall off. Like I've ended up split nose, a couple of black eyes, no shoes, but it is a great day.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
But that still takes place.
That still
So
takes
health
place.
and safety is not done for that.
No, but we all have to sign a little
okay,
waiver. But
yeah.
everyone's like, wow, whatever.
Waiver, whatever.
Yeah.
So no, there's never been a man on this boat.
We did do it one year. We did Greece one year, and we had half a Cortina on a raft with a stereo. And we actually had music as well that year, which I think was probably one of our best ever when we got a couple of men involved.
So
a couple of
they needed
husbands.
to be what's his face? Sandy. I forgot his name now. Sandy and
Danny.
Danny. That's
Yeah.
it.
The year before, the guys made a hamster wheel. It was probably about 30 foot. A great
Crikey.
big wooden, like
Oh,
if you
God.
can imagine sort of like a paddle boat
Yeah.
sort of vibe. That
Yeah.
was how it was meant to work. But they rolled it down the slip and it just sort of bobbed around getting in the way of everybody.
Classic
Classic.
men.
Yeah, classic men. But I was really grateful because I ended up getting it and taking it all to pieces and having the wood.
Perfect.
Because I've got a field.
What are you going to... Hang on, you've got a field.
I've got a field.
Well, that's exciting.
It
You've
is-
got your own field?
I've got my own fields. I could almost call myself a farmer.
Oh, God.
And I've got a
A maid and a
tractor.
farmer.
Well-
You've got a tractor?
It's a lawnmower.
Oh,
I sit on.
what do you mean?
It's a sit-on lawnmower.
Oh, I see. Yes.
But in my mind, it's
a
like
tractor.
it's a
You're
tractor.
picturing tractor.
Yeah, I don't picture. I see. I don't do. It's a tractor.
What is, what does, what's the best thing about having a field?
I'm a plant addict, so I've got about 60 palm trees up there. And I planted them in a big circle, and I call it Palm Henge.
Nice. Are they sizable enough for it to be
They
a
will.
henge?
They will be
And what will you, when it's proper henge,
established. Yeah. What
how
am I
will
going
you
to do?
mark it? Yeah.
I'll probably be dead
That's a bummer.
by that time.
That's a bummer.
But my thing, I am Cornish, and my kids are as well. And I just want to know that when I go, that they've got somewhere that they can go.
Henge.
It's got animals,
Yeah.
like an owl, or foxes, or badgers, and deer. And I've been saving all the mussel shells, and I'm building a road.
You're building a road?
I'm building a road
What do you
out of
mean?
mussel shells.
What do you mean? A road to the Palm Henge?
Yes,
From,
from the gateway.
can we
in.
call it a road?
No.
It's more of a path. Because there's a path.
No.
I suppose it's
No,
a road.
Tom. No, it's a road. If you can drive on it, it's a road. And even if it's not a tractor, it's a lawnmower, and I'm driving that. It's all in the imagination. Just got to think big.
I'm too
Reality's small.
I'm too narrow. Sorry.
Reality's-
I need to
Yeah, the
see more
reality-
road. I'm seeing too many paths. It's a tractor. It's a road made of mussel
Well, it
shells.
will be. And I probably got about maybe 10-ton sacks of mussel shells.
That's a lot of mussels.
It's a lot of mussels, and then I'm going to crunch them all up, and then you get special sort of matting, and then you whack-a-plate it all in.
As far as you know, that would be the only mussel road going.
Probably in Cornwall.
The only mussel road in Cornwall.
Yeah. They do smell a little bit to start
shells?
off with. Yeah, but we
Yeah.
do run them through the dishwasher.
Yeah.
I think the Romans tried to do it. They failed.
Where the Romans failed, you will succeed.
But I do think they were doing a road.
The road.
They were doing
They were really
they were
doing the
real
road.
roads.
No,
yeah.
there was,
Me on the
they
other.
were proper on their
Yeah.
tractors.
Yes, Romans on tractors, building roads.
You say you think you're going to be dead by the time that the palm henge is fully a beast.
Yeah.
And how long do you think you've got left to live?
I'm hoping for an 82. If I could get to 82, I'd be like, whoa!
Yes.
Yeah.
Big
If
win.
Anything after that. My mum, she was 92.
Okay.
My grandparents were 92.
Okay.
So,
Don't do yourself down.
but I might turn vegan, and you never know.
Instantly 100.
100.
102.
Yes.
So once you're past 82, anything goes. You're just going to go mad.
Yeah,
go
probably.
wild
Yeah, get bigger tractor.
to start. What do you think about your own demise? What would you like? Here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Let's imagine a funeral.
Yes.
Let's imagine you're giving a speech, your own funeral.
Oh yeah.
Let's imagine you've pre-recorded it. You've pre-recorded a speech
Uh-huh.
to be played at your funeral as a way of, giving some, I don't know, some words for the encouragement to the people listening, or some, some I don't know, some advice for the future. What would be how would that speech go? Bit of a weird question.
That is a bit of a weird question, a bit of a long question. I've forgotten actually all about it.
You forgot it all.
Like,
I'm not good at this.
But
I've got to make my questions. Okay, sorry, that was long.
It was.
That was a bit long. Okay, shortened version for you. Mm-hmm. It's your funeral.
yeah.
Sorry to say.
It's
102. You became a vegan 102.
Yeah.
Right? Before the funeral,
Yeah.
someone was like, or pre-record a message. We can
Okay.
play this out.
Yes,
Right?
okay.
At your funeral.
Yeah.
And like, oh, hang on, everyone, we've got a message from Stranger X. Beep.
Beep. Here it comes.
Here it comes. What are we saying in this message at the funeral, your funeral?
I think don't take anything too seriously. Really, nothing is worth that amount of worry and everything will be what it will be in the end. And you can stay up all night and bite your fingernails and be a vegan. But sadly, animals will still get eaten and you'll still be alive the next day worrying about them. Well, they've been eaten. That's not good advice, is it?
I love it. You're choosing your funeral speech to have a little dig at vegans. Just why not? You could say something to your family, about how they should live without you.
Dead animals.
Vegans, what the fuck are you doing? Stop worrying, bloody
My
vegans.
family are great because they know me.
So they would find that funny.
They know my advice. Stop worrying about it. There's my mate Crabber there. We were talking about the dog walk in the morning.
Yes.
And the same people. I meet Crabber every morning.
Crabber,
Crabber. That's his nickname.
because he does crabs.
No, he's actually he's a butcher.
Oh, a butcher called Crabber.
Yeah, but he always
difficult to
gives
keep
me a bit
up.
of meat
Difficult
for my
to keep
dog.
up.
And if I don't see him, he leaves it on the wheel of my van for me.
Oh, that's
Isn't that cute?
That is very sweet.
Yeah.
That's
and
very
if I
cute.
do see him, he'll give me an energy bar.
Beautiful.
Thinks I'm a vegan.
Just one more question about funerals. Is there anything you'd like to happen at your funeral that doesn't normally happen at other people's funerals? Have you got any kind of
Yes.
funky ideas?
Yeah, this is my funky idea because I've been thinking about this. Firstly, but I think I might try and pull it forward before I'm dead.
Living funeral.
A living funeral.
Ever.
But I also think I want a fancy dress one, but you have to come as somebody who is already dead.
Oh.
So
Okay.
I'd like a lot of sort of Elvis
Meta,
Presley's,
meta.
but I want full out.
A
I don't
living funeral with dead
people.
people.
Yeah.
Wow. Love it.
You like that idea?
I do.
And I quite like that song about Blackbird, I'll have you. That one.
What's that? Sing it again. Sing it again.
That's all I know.
Black-
Blackbird, I'll have you. I'm dead, so I don't need to know the words, and I'll make sure everybody knows it.
Hang on, sorry, Blackbird. There's not Blackbird by the Beatles.
No, but that's a really lovely song too,
also a
isn't
nice
it?
song.
It is.
Tell me about the funeral. Who is your favourite dead person?
Who's my favourite dead person? Probably Prince.
Prince.
I'd
yeah.
love to see him strutting in.
Maybe everyone can come as Prince.
Yes?
That'd be fun.
Yeah, but not purple.
Oh.
Sadly, I'm not a purple fan.
Oh, you hate purple.
It got passed down from my gran. It used to
not
make her
purple?
feel ill,
Oh.
apparently. So,
What,
yeah.
the sight of purple would make
The
your
sight
gran
of
feel
purple,
ill?
yes. No, but she would say, oh, it makes me feel proper poorly when you give me a purple hot water bottle.
Oh, God.
Oh, like gran.
Do you have anything like that yourself, where you just can't explain it, but you have a particular, don't
Thing.
show me that, or don't come near me with that?
Ketchup at work, that is one I just can't deal with it down here. And there's no need.
Yeah.
And it's quite ugly when it's left.
Did we ever need ketchup?
No,
I'm with you. I don't think it adds that much to anything.
no.
Very sweet. Kind of overpowers stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like it cleverly gets branded for kids.
Yes.
Because it's a sweet thing to go with your,
Yeah.
thing you're getting the child to eat.
You're trying to
then
get
it
them
kind
to
of
eat
becomes
something.
in their just general consciousness.
I do have, I wouldn't say arguments, healthy
Ketchup
debates with parents who say, but my child won't eat anything without ketchup. I don't think that's my problem, love. I think that's a you problem.
Yes.
Just try
Stand-
telling them that
stand
is
firm.
no ketchup.
Stand
You're
firm
the
with the
parent.
ketchup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that.
My kids would never ask.
Yeah.
And if they got it, they'd be like, wow, Mum's had a good meal. Let's have it all.
We're next to the place where you work.
Yeah.
Can you describe what the kind of place this is like? It's quite a funky place. That's why I came down here, because I like this place so much. Should we say what it
Just
is?
say.
It's called the Muscle Shoal.
It is called the Muscle
And
Shoal.
where are we?
We're in Port Leven.
There we go.
Port Evan.
Is that what we call it?
Sometimes, some people do.
No, but it is particularly. I think we're far enough away from anything that it's fine to mention it.
Yeah.
Because and if anyone's nearby, they should come and have a look.
Just pop and
because it's
say
beautiful.
hi.
And they might meet you as well.
To the rude shouty
If you hear the
lady.
shouty one,
Yeah.
you'll know which one it is.
Yeah, you're there.
You'll be like, you were on that podcast once.
I was. I think it's just a very happy spot for a lot of people. For some reason, there's some real little magic that goes on in that shed.
Is it you?
I think it's us as a group of people together, and I don't really know how it works. Do you know, like when we do figures of the amount of people that we serve, we think actually, big pat on the back, and I wouldn't say they were the most organised bunch of people either, but maybe a lot of yelling. A lot of yelling.
Gets it done.
Yeah, screaming and shouting. I do threaten burning. I've only done it once to one man, and I'm sure he won't mind me to
So
say.
burning of the food or burning
People.
the person?
Burning
of the
people.
person. Much better.
Never burn the
Much
food.
better to threaten to burn the person.
But the people that you work, and I know this is, people don't go to work to get burnt.
This is true.
They don't expect it either.
Yeah.
But when I've asked him to move several times and said, I will burn you if you don't move, then it's, oh dear, I did it. And I didn't mean to do it as bad as I did.
Oh, so you did actually burn?
I did.
Oh, you did?
And
Where's
he's a little Welsh guy. I burned him on his little chubby arm, just here.
What a move. With a tong or something?
No, with a really nice hot red scallop pan.
Whoa.
Yes.
The whole pan.
Well, it wasn't like a flat.
It's a little...
It was more of a sort of
nudge.
rim. And he was like, ow. And I was like, oh,
Little shock.
God, oh, sorry, yes.
But it worked?
It did work.
Quick
All the
burning.
new people
Quick
say,
little-
she'll
little
burn
nudge.
you if
She'll
you don't move. And they're like, okay. And I was going to, if it was summertime, I'd show you. We had a group work branding session.
Okay.
Yeah, for Christmas. We
Right.
thought it would be fun.
Like a kind of tattoo?
Like a few rums, like
Group?
a tattoo.
What did he brand?
One of our customers had bought us a pumpkin carving set with the logo, and we thought, if we put it in the fire, let's just see what we could do with it. And then we did a few on the post, and then just obviously had a couple more rums and thought it'd be funny. It wasn't funny. We all gave ourselves blood poisoning. I couldn't even move my arms up over my head, and for some reason I've got two on my back. And so, you know, when you wake up in the
Wow.
morning and you think, oh dear, why did I do that?
So it's permanent brand.
It is. Do you want a quick flash?
So let's have a quick flash, mate, while we're here.
I've got many layers on.
Okay. Shall I look away?
No.
Oh, oh God, there.
Yeah.
And the other side.
On there. Silly, hey?
Crikey.
Yes.
What do people think it is?
People thought that I had some, women of my age get, not postnatal depression, they get the menopause.
Menopause, that's the
and
one.
they get forgetful. They thought it was some weird cups that you have.
Menopause cups.
I think that's something
Yeah.
that people from Devon do. So, yeah.
When Sandy and Denny were mentioned, not Denny, yes,
Danny.
Sandy Denny, of course, is a
You've
folk
Sandy, I'll be
singer.
Danny.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, who was your
Did
first
I have
Danny?
a Danny?
You know, your first romantic thing.
Dalliance.
Yeah, can you remember that kind of first one?
Yes.
Can you talk to me about it? Yes.
Can I talk to you about it?
Oh, maybe not.
No, probably. Do you know when you're sort of like about 14 and you think, oh, boys.
Boys.
And I got invited to the Scout Christmas party. Absolutely terrified because I was like, okay, there's boys, but then there's like many, many boys.
Yeah.
But obviously there were a few other girls there. But they had to do a party game, and one of them I had to lie on the floor, and the boy did press-ups over the top of me.
Oh, God.
I was terrified. I was going, oh, my God.
That sounds a lot.
Oh, my God. This is like having sex. I don't know. Do you know
Is
what I mean?
this sex?
Is this sex? In the Scout Hall with all these people around? So, yeah, that was probably like 13, 14, around there.
Okay. And then did something happen with one of these?
I'm still friends with him now.
Oh, you fantastic.
Yeah.
Does he still do the press over you, or?
No, but we still now and again laugh about it. And he's got a third nipple on his back.
Great. Why not? Let's shove in that little tidbit.
That's
Why
sexy.
not? That's wow. What have you learnt about men in your life? What have you come to
The
learn?
majority of them are really okay. But there are, I think a lot of men like to be looked after. And I'd quite like to get looked after. The end. I'm tired. I'm tired of looking after men.
That was a great breakdown of
Yeah.
men.
I'm single, and I've got to say, it's the one thing is everybody says, "Oh, don't you miss a partner?" I'm like, I miss somebody putting the bins out. My chat's been a lot about bins, hasn't it? And rubbish. Is that my life? Going
Is
to
your
the
life has
dump.
been a big bin?
Going to the dump.
No, well, dumps are great. Dumps are fun.
Dumps are
You
fun.
learnt a lot in the dump.
Yeah, I did.
Because you said
Springs.
the dump made you.
Yeah, the dump did make me. And I still love going to the dump.
Yeah. What do you do in the dump
I get
now?
told off for jumping in the plant skip and getting stuck in there.
What do you mean you get stuck in there?
Because they're those great big
Oars.
containers. And
you just
now
jump in?
Now and again.
What are you looking for?
Plants, obviously. And if you see a big palm tree in there... do
Palm
you know
henge.
what- Palm henge is
It's not
calling.
gonna- It's not going to grow itself.
No, so I jump in and try and rescue it, but I have got stuck in there once.
Oh.
And I had to...
Cry out for help?
Cry out for help with the branch.
Oh, with a
Because
branch.
it's
You can't see it.
Because you can't see.
Would you like to find a person? You're single, but would you like?
Would I
someone?
like to find one? I don't want to have to find one. I would love to think that there was somebody out there that could tolerate my erratic behaviour, even though it's not really that erratic or crazy, but just someone that you don't have to explain yourself to,
Yeah.
that they kind of go, oh, it's okay. Yeah, so yes, I would. And I do believe one day, maybe when I'm a big girl, I'm allowed. But at the moment, I just feel that I'm still too childish. Like men
too-
my age
really?
probably think I'm
Too childish for.
I'm probably just too much for older men.
Go
my
for a younger
age.
one.
Yeah, but then they want the mum vibe.
Oh, of course.
Difficult
This is
one,
why it's
isn't it?
complicated.
Yeah, my mum always says that yours are probably up a mountain somewhere, just like weaving snake skins or doing something. And I'm like,
Have you ever found a man up a mountain?
no,
Maybe that's what you've got to do.
I need to go
Get up a
mountains.
mountain.
Yeah,
What's the most exciting place you've had sex?
on a roof.
I feel like I can ask you.
Yeah, top of a roof,
Top of a roof.
in a tree.
Ah! Hang on, not the same. So these are two separate events: roof and tree.
2 different days. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same man.
Same man. Sorry, but
Yeah.
I'm just because you said it very in quick succession. So I thought maybe the tree was on the roof. No.
No.
It's.
I was just up there cleaning.
What? You were already up there. So I don't know how many questions I can ask now.
I was up there cleaning.
Cleaning.
Cleaning the gutters.
And he was
It
up
was.
there.
I was doing. It was a gardening job, really, because
Okay.
there was some big bushes growing out the chimney. So I'd gone up there to do that. I thought, while I was up there, I might as well clean the gutters.
Yeah.
And then I met a man up there.
Oh, you actually met up there, or you knew? You knew.
I did
you
know him. I think he just came to check if I was okay, and
Obviously.
I was
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Obviously fine.
I'm okay.
What's? Can you sell roof sex? Good view
Good view.
for everyone.
Nice and warm. It was summertime,
Yeah,
so those
okay.
like warm tiles. Yeah.
So really, it's a good thing. What we're saying is, if you can, roof sex, but maybe be careful.
Yes. And maybe just wear good pumps, like a good sticky sole, so you're not sliding, because, you need to get some push.
Roof sex lesson number 1.
Yeah.
Any other roof sex lessons there?
Ooh, good gloves.
Good.
Because when you are sliding,
You got to hold on to.
you've got to hold on.
Well, that's the first time I've ever had a roof sex conversation in my life.
I think you
So
need
it's
to
quite
take this
exciting.
forward. It's a great
I mean,
question
it's
to ask
something-
other people.
Yeah, I mean, have you-
I'm going to ask
was it
others.
one time only? You didn't think of repeating it?
We did repeat.
Okay, same
'Cause
roof,
it
different
was
roof.
Different roof.
What was different from the second time to the first?
It was a bigger roof. More chimneys.
What did that mean though? More chimneys. Was that a good
more
thing?
sex.
What? Hang on, but why does more chimneys mean more sex? So is that? I don't
I don't know,
understand.
just maybe it was...
more
there
places.
Was, more places, yeah.
More things to hold on to.
Yeah, yeah. We did find, I don't know if it was a wasp or a bee's nest on one of them, that was the end of that day's.
So that's the second, and you leave it at the twice.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. I think
Could
you've
have
got
done
to quit while you're ahead.
Yeah,
You know, like,
the
where'd
bees-
you go? 6 chimneys and a bee's nest was enough. Like, let's just go inside.
We could just go inside. Fantastic. Well,
Yeah,
that is a good one.
Yeah,
I mean,
thank
while
you.
we're here, any other
Have you ever had
sex on a roof? No.
No. Will you
No.
now give it a go?
I mean, if there is a roof that is, I would say I'm a fairly cautious climber, so it would have to be a fairly steady roof.
Maybe start with a shed.
Yeah.
A strong shed.
Any other good sex places?
Any other good sex places? On a tractor?
A tractor or your famous lawnmower tractor?
No, it was a tractor. Cute little French one.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
In France?
No, in Cornwall, but it was a really nice experience. Yeah,
In the field?
on a drive.
Oh, you were moving. Okay. You're driving
Very
around.
slowly. The sex was fast, but the tractor was slow.
But you were
know?
moving, so someone was driving this tractor.
Someone was driving.
So quite a lot of responsibility. The old drive and sex at the same time.
I trusted him.
Yeah, evidently.
And it wasn't like a busy road.
Yeah, it wasn't a busy, but there are other vehicles on the road.
No.
How far do you think we
went?
We went.
All the way.
No, not the sex.
Oh.
I mean, how
the
the
tractor.
distance on the tractor. Sorry.
It's hard to measure sex in yards or meters, isn't it? Like half a mile? Maybe? At 5 miles an hour? It's like an equation.
Did you have your children with one person?
I had children with 2. The first one died, sadly.
Oh.
He did go on to marry somebody after me.
Yeah.
And
And then he died.
then he died,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the second wife, we kept in contact for years.
Lovely.
And then last year she came to Cornwall and stayed. And we had 5 days together. And we ended up just being really good friends in a very strange way. And then we got a message off her son to say, I'm really sorry to tell you, but Mum died. Yeah, just odd.
Yeah.
Odd that she should just die.
Yeah. Maybe that's what she needed to complete the
The circle.
circle.
Yeah, that's what we felt.
Do you have
Yeah.
any circles that you want to complete?
Yeah, I don't think I would say I've got anything I want to complete, but I recently just lost a really close friend. And it's that importance of saying goodbye and kind of just not thinking, I'll do that in a minute, or I'll bring them tomorrow, or I'll go up tomorrow. It's like, if you're feeling like you need to go today. So, yeah, I feel that's sort of something I've learned recently. It's important to make sure, I've always said to my kids, people can get married several times and you can miss one wedding. But with a funeral, you only get one chance to say goodbye. So if it's really important to you, then work will have to wait, or money will find it to make sure you can go to say goodbye.
Tell me about your friend that you've just lost, if it's not too difficult. Oh, sorry. We don't have to talk about it if you don't want
I feel like I've started, and it
Yeah.
would be disrespectful not to. He was just a great character,
to. Yeah.
very flamboyant, very lovable, full of mischief. We had a lot of fun together. Just gone a little bit too soon, and that's it.
Oh. But a lot of mischief was had.
Oh, so much. Yeah, I met him. He arrived on Scilly as an artist in a little 2-man tent selling prints. And we were laughing because he ended up running this bed and breakfast. It was a massive, great big building on Scilly. But he was a bit of a drinker and a bit of a smoker. So he had one rule. You could only stay if you drank and smoked. Don't want any of these clean living people coming here. And so the actual house, it just had a really lovely, happy vibe, you know. Everybody went out in the evening together, we all came home together, and we'd all have cheese on toast and have a whiskey and smoke inside and get everybody up early in the morning to take them out. So it's just a lot of fun. He was just one of those men that he could land sunny side up, even if he was knee deep in shit.
And you knew who was dying, or was it something?
Yeah, sadly I did. He's way, like his partner, they live right up in the top of Scotland. And he's like, I don't want you to come. And I didn't go. And I really think I should have gone. Moral of the story. I should have gone. I know.
You were a great friend.
He was a great friend.
You know, I suppose that's a job after people die. We've got to, you know, we have while we're here, we can keep them alive. You know.
Yeah. Oh. We got a tell a bit of mischief that we did on Scilly.
Yeah.
Is when they put out the first little wind turbine over there. They hadn't put a ladder on to stop people climbing up it. So we decided that we would take our work van, about 14 of us, and then got on the van and then stood on each other's shoulders until we were tall enough to get up, and then climbed on top of the wind turbine thing up there. And then, of course, the next morning I was like, oh, where's my shoes? And I was like, oh no.
Lift them on the top of the turbine.
Left them on top of the turbine.
Hang on, so as in what? It's spinning around.
It wasn't at the time. They were building it. They were
so all on each other's shoulders.
Yeah,
it's like Wallace and Gromit or something.
It's a little bit like that. Like, we can do it. We can get up there. So we all climbed up just to watch the sunrise, you know, from a different perspective.
Fantastic.
But, yeah.
If I went to your if I just happened to kind of enter your house, like you did when you picked the lock of when you were 8 or whatever,
Yes.
and I looked around, what one object would confuse me the most, do you think?
Many, I think, but probably things like I've got a disco dolphin, because I had a friend once that moved into my cupboard under the stairs, and when she left, she gave me, it's a fiberglass dolphin that you have in a kid's playground. And she said, I want you to have this so you don't forget me. And I'm like, great, what am I going to do with that? Anyway, I've covered it. I've disco balled it. So I've got a disco dolphin, and then I've got lots of mannequin parts covered in lots of weird stuff.
Okay. Mannequin parts, so not even just a full mannequin, like a leg.
Yeah, just a leg.
What's covering the mannequin's leg?
Shells, beads.
Of course, shells.
Yeah, stones, mirrors, glitter, that sort of thing.
This is what you just do on a kind of Sunday afternoon sometimes, just cover a mannequin's leg.
Yeah, when the dog's having a fit, then just have to do something quiet, but keep busy. So I get the glue gun out and just cover mannequins and stuff.
Wow. How many mannequins you got in there?
I've got a big one called Grace Jones. She's the one that I'm working on.
Fantastic.
I've got 2 legs.
Your friend lived under your stairs?
In the cupboard, yeah.
Your friend lived in your cupboard. How much space is in the cupboard?
It was enough room for a double bed and a side table. Didn't have a window, didn't have a door.
Under your stairs is enough room for a double bed?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So she was in there. She stayed in there for like probably about 10 months.
Oh, my God.
She loved it. And she only left because my daughter was coming back from Australia, so she
The
needed to
neighbour
go
under
in
the
the cupboard.
stairs. So you really bonded?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
She's my darling, darling.
Got a question about mannequins, and also got a question about cooking and chefing.
Yeah.
Because you are a chef,
Loosely.
so that's your main job.
That's how
now.
I make my living.
Yeah.
I used to manage the ship, and then the head chef had a bit of a meltdown. So I said, "You have a week off. I'll jump in and just do sandwiches all week.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the end of the world." And I've never gone back.
Oh.
Just cooked
Big
ever
week.
since. Big week.
So that was what was your age then?
was just 10 years ago.
Oh, so it's really quite new.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah, so I did the ship, I did the sailing club, and there's a village pub over there that was going to close. And so they asked if I would like to help run it. So I was like, oh, right, cool, let's give it a go. So we got that up and running again. And since then, the pub's doing great. And then I came back to the village when my friends started this. He said, do you want to work? And I was like, yeah, right.
That's great.
And here I am.
It's lovely that you can do, 1 week somewhere can change the game. Without that week in the pub, you might not be here today.
Probably not.
It's just, I'm guessing there's something about being a chef you enjoy.
I think it's the arty bit, really.
Yeah.
And I mean, seafood is really simple. Keep it fresh. Don't mess around with it. And yeah, eat it out of a box.
Eat it out of a box.
Yeah. I just feel like there's something special about what goes on in shed cooking because it has to be simple.
I'm going to ask you 3 more questions and I'm going to leave you alone.
Go on, because I
imagine you probably have to actually start cooking soon.
Yeah, gosh, you could go do
This is one
something.
of the first strangers I've talked to when it's been raining quite a lot. Luckily, we were under an awning because it's next to the place where you work.
Yeah.
Fortunate. Anything you would like to ask yourself? If you were me,
Why do you keep being such a dick? Because I am full of mischief, and I did upset my boss because I sprayed you on the bar and it made him cross. I'm 56. Stop it. Do you know? Grow up. But I just can't help it. I had a gold spray paint in my hand, and before I knew it, I'd done it. So that was like, why do you have to do that? Other
Right.
women my age don't do that.
but look, what if you want to flip this around? Maybe you should be more of a dick.
Oh, I like you, Tom.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Why stop at that?
exactly.
Like, be more you.
Or just choose your moments.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to do your dick moves all the time.
Just a dick a
A dick a day?
I'm trying to think. Yeah, one
Daily dick?
daily dick moment.
Yes.
A dick a day keeps the frown at bay.
Yeah, I like that.
That's what we remember.
Yes.
What I like to do is get people, because obviously no one can see where we are.
Yeah.
We've got a lovely view in front of us. Can you describe what you can see and how that makes you feel?
Firstly, it makes me feel like I'm at home. I like being on the edge of the coast. I don't like being inland too much. And I can see many boats just sitting in the sand and the seagulls, bit of river, bit of movement of water I like. And just this really seeing the tide coming in and out. You don't feel like it really moves a lot, but when you're watching it, it moves really fast. A lot of water going in, a lot of water coming out every day. That's what I like.
I like that too. I didn't push you because you said so many exciting things. I drifted over the mannequins a bit.
I could tell you how I got them all.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of going to ask you.
So it's a great little story. 'Cause
Okay.
I'm like hospitality, everybody works their butt off, do you know? And especially Christmas, New Year, you never got any time off. I had 3 hours. I literally raced to Penzance, look in my bag, and I've left my wallet at home. Not enough time to come back, get the wallet, and go back. So I went back to the car, and weirdly, I found £83
So £83 in the car.
in the car.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, got about 24 people to get presents for. Trying to work out how much that is roughly per person. Not a
Not a lot.
great deal. Well, thankfully, I was walking past a clothing shop and they were closing down and they had for sale all the mannequins. And so I offered them 83 quid and I took as many as basically I could carry in 3 hours. I sent one arm to my friend because she went skiing and broke it, so I sent her just an arm in the post saying, here, you need a hand, which really freaked her out. I made candlesticks out of them. And so, yeah, I just did little funky things with them for my family for Christmas.
That's amazing.
And that's how I got my mannequins.
Whoa, that is good. Did everyone enjoy these presents of the bits of body parts?
I don't think everybody. I think a lot of people just thought, what do I do with a hand? I'm sadly, my friend have her leg chopped off.
Oh, God.
So I gave her a leg.
Leg. I can see a theme now. If you've got some kind of condition,
Yeah, just
you'll
give
send them the part.
Yeah.
How does she feel like getting the leg?
She has got a great sense of humour, but I drilled holes in it and then planted it up with succulents.
Oh, that's
There's
beautiful.
a little bit of style there. When I went round to see her and it was hanging outside our house, I thought, oh, she's okay about
Got
the
to risk.
leg.
I think with great presents, you've got to take the odd risk. You know what I mean?
You do, yeah.
Like, it's got to be. I
It
like
could
the
be-
whole point of giving a gift to her is like, it's a bit of jeopardy. So well
Yeah.
done. with
Thank
jeopardy.
you. I was brave.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think that's how you win.
Yeah. Maybe not.
I asked this question to everybody at the end. You can either answer this in a kind of now way or general way or both.
Okay.
What are you, stranger,
Yeah.
going to do next?
Probably make some people's lunch.
Yeah.
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 And they're
I
going to
am.
love it.
I'm going to make lunch for people. Check on in the cheese, chef. One.
One check,
What is it?
big check.
Oh. One big check. So I am going to make people's lunch and then I'm going to stay here until the end of the day and do it all again. We're looking for staff if anybody wants a job.
Come on down.
Come on down. Okay.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you very much. Really lovely to meet you.
I've really enjoyed talking to
It's
you.
set my Wednesday up proper.
Proper good.
Yeah, it has.
Proper bow.
Might even have pasty to celebrate.
Yes. 3 a week.
Yeah.
3 record.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.